in the shop today. We're up here at the lake. Gonna see if this thing will float, and if it floats, we might see if it moves in the water. I did have to replace the spark plugs because they weren't doing too hot, and ran it on the hose for a little bit to check leaks on the cooling system and on the exhaust pipes, and I didn't really see anything. So we're gonna go ahead and unstrap it, and then I'm gonna have him back it in while I watch for big holes. That's awful low. Awful low. There she goes. Okay, got water coming in somewhere back there. Not really sure where. Yeah, there's water coming in, not a ton. Just not sure where it's coming from. Looks like the corners are leaking a little bit. Yeah. Boat's kind of crooked on the trailer. Let me see if it'll start now that it's in the water.
Looks like a little drag boat like that. That's pretty low in the water.
high tide ones too fast. Don't get your toes wet. Don't get your toes wet. I think it's going to be a lot faster than the other one. Think so? Yeah. Didn't get it on there very straight. Okay, so before it comes out again, I gotta have something to cover this jet, because when I put it in reverse, it sprayed me with water. It's got some water coming in. Looks like it's coming in right down here in these corners, which is what I was afraid of, because that's how my other one was. Don't know, probably just squirt some more glue in there and see if that fixes it. Didn't have the speedometer hooked up, so I don't know how fast it was going. I also wasn't really, I never did hit full throttle, but it does feel like it's going to be way faster than the other one. And the boat has much less grip in the water, so it slides more, which is kind of cool. So yeah, get back to the shop, figure out what we're doing, and get some of this stuff fixed up. All right, we're in the shop. It's the next day after the trip to the lake. Excuse the noise from the truck over there. Trying to get these leaks fixed. Still got a little water in here, but I noticed if I shine my flashlight in here, you can see light coming through. So I've got a little pinhole in my 5200 down there, so I'm gonna try to put a little more glue in. This corner, I don't see any light coming through, but I do notice that there are two screws down there that I totally missed whenever I was patching up the firewall, or the transom I mean. So I'm going to take those screws out, cover those holes with 5200, and I think we might have the leaks fixed, because it really wasn't leaking too bad. And then after we do that, I'm going to start working on covering the jet so I don't splash myself in the face with water when I put it in reverse again. Okay, I've got my two screw holes filled up, and I went ahead and put some 5200 on the outside of where I think it's leaking, and I put some on the inside. So hopefully that's fixed. Now I'm gonna get on to another project, which isn't as important, but I'm gonna hook up the speedometer. And since I moved the speedometer to this side of the boat, I've got my 3 wires stripped back. I'm gonna attach 3 new wires and hook up to the speedometer cable, which is on this side of the boat, right here. So then maybe the speedometer will work, I'm not really sure. I think they make. All right, working on getting this little splash guard or whatever you want to call it put on the back of the boat. The only aluminum I have left over is these pieces that were originally the back seat in this boat. So I've got my lines marked. I'm gonna cut these off straight down. I'll end up cleaning this edge up obviously, but just want to get it cut out and see how it's going to look on there. I also bought some aluminum rod so I can brace it up to here, because I assume with this in reverse and it's shooting water up, it's going to put a lot of force on this little piece. Got this piece cut out and flattened out this edge. Trying to decide how it's gonna mount, probably something like that. Just make sure it's centered on the boat, and then I'll come in and cut some of these edges off because it doesn't really need to stick out this far on the corner. So I'll kind of round it off and see how it looks. Waiting on some bolts for this back here. I've got some aluminum rod. I just threaded the ends of it, and it's gonna sit in there, something like that, just to brace that up a little bit. But in the meantime, I've been working on this front cross brace right here, which goes right above the one down there. Just got to get the welder out, get this welded in. The only reason I'm doing this is so that for temporary purposes, I can hang something on it and mount my gauges so I can actually see what they say. So I'm gonna get the welder strung out over here and see if I can get this attached. Okay, I got this piece welded in. Went ahead and cut out a little bracket and mounted the gauges there so I can actually see them while I'm driving. Also got my screws, so I went ahead and got my little braces put in on the back. Those are more to help when I put it in reverse, it not being able to pull up. Getting this thing ready to go back out. I've got my template here that we used to mount that seat, so I'm gonna measure off that one, make sure I get it the same length or distance from the side of the boat to the seat. Hold it down, drill 4 holes, and I've got another seat here that came out of this boat, ready to go back in as soon as I get those holes drilled. I thought that was the same seat.
They look pretty close, but one's a little bit tall.
Well, it's shorter and it's got a different
Yeah.
thing on the back.
Looks good though.
There it is. All right, we're out here at the lake. Got 2 seats. Got a co-pilot. We're gonna see how the modifications did. Hopefully, thus water comes in. I think I fixed the one on this side, and I may have fixed the one on the other side. So now we're waiting for traffic at the ramp to die down, and we're gonna get this thing backed in the water.
And hopefully the speedometer works.
Yeah, and maybe the speedometer works, because I did get that hooked up. As you saw earlier, the gauges are mounted up here, so see how it goes.
piano hinge. No. We almost died. Unfortunate.
Accelerates really hard.
It's too fast for the piano hinge.
That's true.
As you can see by this not being attached to the seat anymore, and us almost falling out of the boat.
That was the closest I've ever come to falling out of a boat.
Seem to have broke this plastic when the seat came off. Got a fuel leak running into that, as you can see by this dent in the back of the seat. So we'll have to fix that and figure out a better seating solution, because obviously that doesn't work. Leading.
Guess I could do something to help.
Well, you can hold that hook.
I'm doing it. Look.
I think I'm gonna get 2 straps and just cut them off, because it's a hassle.
Yeah.
There it is.
Ready to go home. We'll come back out for 5 more minutes next weekend.
All right, we made it back to the house. Everything's all right. My leg hurts. Marshall's leg hurts. We know what we got to work on for next week, which is attaching the seat more firmly. We'll probably end up redoing the piano hinge on the front, and then running a metal bar across the back of these seats, so that when you lean back, you're actually leaning against something solid and you're not putting all your weight on the piano hinge. Everything else seemed to work pretty good. This little thing kept the reverse bucket from spraying water into the boat. I thought we had a lot of water in the boat, but turns out some of that's gasoline, because like I showed earlier, we broke this fitting here, so we'll have to replace that. But yeah, that's going to do it for this video. Make sure you like and subscribe, and we'll see you in the next one.